Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us on this great Saturday afternoon. Thank you so much to those that are connecting with us online on our various online platforms, on Facebook, on our Facebook page, is Love Really Blind and Marriage and Eye Opener. Those that are connecting with us on our YouTube page, Basil Mugwena, we really appreciate your time. Today I'm sitting with the greatest author himself, Mr. Basil B. Mugwena, the author of Is Love Really Blind and Marriage an Eye Opener? Something You Must Know Before You Say I Do, Snakes Breed Snakes, Demystifying Marriage, and the latest being principle-based lessons from King David's Shadow. Last month we had quite a very great fun event that we hosted at the Fairway Hotel for lovers. It was called a celebration of love, where we saw a great multitude of couples from different races from all corners of South Africa join us to celebrate the month of love with us, where Mr. Basil Mugwena was also the keynote speaker at that particular event. Mr. Mugwena, welcome.
Thank you very much.
There are a lot of questions that followed through from that particular sessions that we intend to attend to today, that we received from mainly the people who attended, because we had a platform for them to continue the engagement post the event. And of course, from our online platforms, we received quite a lot of ongoing questions about issues pertaining to relationships, marriages, even single people asking questions about how do they find Mrs. Right, how do they find Mr. Right, and all those kind of stuff. So today Mr. Mugwena has availed himself so that we can be able to go through those questions. Those of you that have questions, please do not hesitate to post them on the comment section or on our Facebook page on this particular video. If you would like to remain anonymous, please do reach out to us on our inbox on our Facebook page. You can also follow through for more content on TikTok on Basil Mugwena. If you search Basil Mugwena 1 on TikTok, you'll find him. He posts quite a lot of videos there. Thank you so much, Mr. Mugwena. Maybe any opening or introductory remarks from yourself?
Well, it is indeed such a great honor to be reconnecting with our viewers this afternoon. It has been quite some time since we did our online sessions. As a matter of fact, we took a conscious decision because the online sessions were necessitated by COVID. We had a lot of physical engagements prior 2019, such that we decided to go online just to ensure that we keep the fire burning. Yes. And if you notice lately, we have gone back to doing physical sessions. So the session in question was a celebration of love, wherein we deemed it necessary that we invite couples. We invited couples to say sometimes in life it becomes necessary to celebrate the person that you are married to, because it's very common that as soon as you settle in marriage, you become complacent, and that you tend to take your partner for granted. So that event was basically to say, hey, pause, take some time, look at the person that you are married to.
Yes.
Say thank God for this particular person, because the one thing that matters is this person has decided to stay with you despite it all, because you may be having issues, you may be fighting here and there and all sort of things, but the person is staying. The one who stays, the one who fight with you to make the marriage work, is somebody worth celebrating. So the purpose of that very gathering was just to say to couples, despite all our busy lives, busy schedule, raising kids, racing between work and all sorts of things, we need to, as much as possible, take time, pause, and say, thank God for my wife, thank God for my husband, thank God for the person that God has brought in my life. I will do everything possible to strive to make them stay. Yeah, that's a long and short of it.
No, thanks a lot. You touched quite a lot of very key, important aspects. One of them being keeping the fire burning. You know, I've heard many people say, I can't feel the fire. The fire is no longer burning in my relationship or something like that. So I think maybe we can elaborate just a little bit more on how does one keep the fire burning? How do you keep the spark there? Maybe I've been married to this person, we're celebrating 10 years, but how do I make sure that the person still finds me attractive, still sees me the same way or even more than when we first met?
Yeah, people have this illusion of thinking that you are going to continue feeling this thing all the days of your life. That is not true. I have said it so many times that sometimes people make a mistake. Oh, you know what? I love this particular person. I'm so in love with this one. It's a feeling. It's a feeling that you have at that particular point in time. But once you have decided that you are walking down the aisle with this particular person, for better or for worse, because as time goes on, like I spoke about complacent, you become familiar with this particular person. Remember, before you got married, oh, there was no mistake.
Yes.
Your person was this angel that has just fallen from heaven, better than Gabriel. But now that you live with this particular person, you start picking up some faults. So it's not a question of you keeping the fire burning. It's a question of understanding what does it take to make this vehicle continue moving. You sometimes need to learn that in this walk of life, you get to a point where you have to do something because it's necessary. For example, we have spoken at length about this issue that, dear husband, no matter what is at stake, love your wife. No matter what. Whether you've got problems or not, love your wife. That way, you do your part. You do your part and trust God that, God, I'm doing what I'm charged to do. A man, I've said it so many times, a man has capacity to love. So it's a question of when things go south, when they no longer feel that fire, when they no longer feel that spark, some decide, oh, you know what, let me get my heart to go and look for something else greener outside and love that. Men suffer from this thing called addiction. Once they love, because they've got capacity to love, they can displace their love and go love somewhere else. At the same time, I think I've said this even at our lovers seminar, that women have capacity to respect and submit, but they need also to look at, okay, do I have to submit to this one? Really? This one does not, it's not even leading me anywhere. They end up submitting to what they look at as an authority. So if you understand that this one has to love, this one has to submit, and every party works on what they have to do, will go a long way. So it's not about that fire that, oh, you know, like when we used to date, I could not sleep, oh, every night I will just have dream about him, dream about her. Every night it was always us talking over the phone until we even try to fall asleep. Hey, drop the phone, baby. Drop when on your hand. Drop when wanna drop. As you carry on, you realize this is real life. There is no drop a phone. You living with this particular person 24/7. As a matter of fact, if I were to divert, there have been so many divorces in 2020 during lockdown when people were given a chance. Stay home with your wife, with your husband. So many divorces took place because people realized, damn, work assists when you have to wake up every day and go to work and whatever. Now here I am every day. When I wake up, it's this person. This person is even demanding what I must make food and all sorts of things. The children are here. Yeah. So many things went south. It's not about the spark. It's about understanding what you have to do.
So, I was listening to you now quite attentively. Do you think there might be an issue with because I'm asking myself, why are things so rosy? Why are things so nice? Why is the fire and the spark there initially before you decide to get married? Then all of a sudden you are married, a few years into the marriage, the spark dies off. Is it because of become complacent, or become too familiar, or we just relax? Maybe the things one used to do before you got married, you no longer do. You no longer take your wife out on dates, or you no longer submit your husband the way you're submitting prior marriage, which I think is what also led to some divorces during COVID, because people had all the time in the world to be together.
If you read the book Is Love Really Blind and Marriage is Open, there is an illustration of a fellow. The wife went to him. I see you no longer love me. Before we got married, you used to buy me ice cream every day. You used to buy me chicken leg, and you used to do all sort of things. And the fellow responded and said, "Have you ever seen a fisherman who continues feeding the fish that he already caught?" Yes, there is that high level of complacency once people get settled. And look, as people grow, some decide not to grow up, because growing is a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice. Because as long as you are alive, you will always come across all sorts of things in this walk of life. As a matter of fact, the moment you say I do, it's like the floodgates of temptations open up. You will just, even the people that said, when I was you the tables how you can go jump. Now that once you are married, everybody start looking at you. Oh gosh, I wish I could just have that one, play with the table and all sorts of things. That is the reality of life. So it's a question of you decide, now I am married to this particular person, I am going to remain faithful to this particular person, I am going to serve this particular person. You see, the mistake that we make is sometimes looking at our situation and think, well, this person, no ways, this person does not deserve my time, this person does not deserve my love, this one does not deserve my respect. The moment you stop doing your part, trust me, some fellow out there will be doing your part, and before you know it, thank
you. No, thanks for that, Mr. Mugwena. In the past, you've brought to light some devastating statistics about divorces. From time and time again on the news, on the social media platforms, we're reading about broken families, broken marriages, and all that. In your opinion, are things getting better within the marriage institution, or things are getting worse?
I wish I could say things are getting better. Things are not getting better. As a matter of fact, lately you have also nations of the world redefining marriage. Because things are not getting better. As a matter of fact, the church is being asked the question, didn't you get it wrong with this monogamous thing of yours? What if a man, there's this theory lately, no, a man is wired to have more than one wife. And the church is saying, no, you must have one wife. On the other side, you've got another school of thought that says, no, if a man can have a polygamy, I will also do polyandry. you look at it lately, there has been a revision of the definitions of marriage. Most countries of the world are saying marriage refers to the union of two people who love each other. You no longer be talking about a husband and a wife. You no longer be talking about the biblical principle, a man shall leave his wife and his mother and father, and cling to the wife. You no longer talk about those things. So things are not even getting better, even with the heterosexual marriages. Mm-hmm. Things are not getting better. Let me put it that way. And sometimes I look at this. When people say I do, how ready are they? Do they even know the roads that they are going to travel? Are they having what it takes to travel those roads? So yeah, things are not getting better.
Yeah, it's quite interesting what you say. The other day I was reading, they were saying, okay, maybe let me make reference to the man you wrote about, the great king to ever walk on this earth, King David. Many are saying that this man had like many wives. So, so I'm just bringing that up to light based on what you said, that maybe the church got it wrong by saying you must have one wife. They've cited Solomon. They've cited quite a few number of guys from the Bible, from the scriptures, saying that these guys were allowed to marry more than one wife. Could it be the reason why maybe the fire is dying off or maybe why partners or couples are not patient with each other, or they're not as loving as we expect them to be.
Look, I'm not going to use the Bible to justify what people want to do. Polygamy was not blessed by God, it was permitted in those days. But ask yourself this question. Let's talk about Solomon with 1,000 wives. Maybe him as Solomon, for just about every day, he will try to satisfy himself and all sorts of things. What about this woman that is living? Now he left number one last year. This, no, I want you to reason that. So you tell me, what is she feeling? Because it's one thing, he's happy, and if you read the story of Solomon, when he concluded, he said it's all vanity. He said everything is vanity. It's vanity. He had 1,000. I mean, you think this fellow was supposed to be the happiest man on planet Earth,
Yeah.
but he ended up the most regretful man on planet Earth. He said, no, you think you're going to get number two, you'll be happier. You are not. You get number 300, you're still not happy. Dude, what do you want? He said, it's all vanity. So it's neither here nor there. It's a question of discipline. Yes, you may have a drive, you may have an edge. Good, maybe I can do with another husband. Maybe I can do with another 2 boyfriends on the side. Maybe I can do with polygamy. But ask yourself, these people who are in polygamies, they are still humanizing. A person has 5 wives, but they're still humanizing out there. You ask yourself, then marry the whole South Africa if that is the case. Thank you.
No, thank you. So, what have you found to be the most critical challenge in today's marriages?
There are a lot of things, but the one thing that I have seen over and over again, lack of preparations. Very often we do not prepare. We think things will work themselves out. Things don't. If you do not prepare and you hope things will work out for you, you are making a very serious mistake. I wrote something about I like aviation. I like aviation industry. Every now and then, whenever there's an accident, they go and investigate from A to Z. They even have a script. Before you take the plane take off, you need to tick this box, tick this box, tick this box. Even the experienced pilot have to tick the boxes. The ones that make mistake are those ones who think, I'm so experienced, I no longer need to go through this. I ask myself, how many amongst us, particularly young people, are prepared to subject themselves to somebody who will say, I want to see to it, I want to oversee your relationship, I want to ensure that at the end of the day you don't make the mistakes that we've made. Nobody wants to subject themselves to any authority. Everybody, when they are in love, they think they are the happiest people on planet Earth. They are ready, they can't. I told a story about, which was told by one American man of God. This young couple went to him and said, man of God, we want to get married. He said, really? Yeah. How long have we been dating? We've been dating for 3 weeks. 3 weeks? Dude. Are you able to solve your problem? They said, man of God, you don't understand. We want to get married. Are you able to solve your problems? They said, man of God, you don't understand. The way we love each other, we don't even have problems. He said, no, get out of my office. And then the young lady said, hey, when you are not a man enough, how can you fail to convince an old man like this to get us married? And then they fought and broke up. People will spend so much time investigating their investment and everything like that. But this is the one area, let me repeat this. This is the one area, if you fail in your marriage, trust me, no matter how successful you are in any other area, uzolenda, because you cannot have it otherwise. So, lack of preparations is what make most marriages go under.
No, that's quite very interesting.
Nanisto Bush Lodge and The African Business, the official sponsors of Is Love Really Blind and Marriage, an Eye Opener.
No, thank you. Before we continue, I would like to acknowledge and thank our sponsors, Nanisto Bush Lodge, African Business. Those are the people that ensure that we continue to get as much information out there to the people that require it. We really appreciate their support. Please do follow them as well. Nanisto Bush Lodge is on www.nanistobushLodge.com and make your bookings there. Thank you so much, Mr. Mgwena. I wanted to ask you a question. Let's say there's this young couple that follows you or does not follow you, but for some reason they've gotten hold of this particular interview that we're having today. And they require assistance. They've decided that they want to get married. Besides going to pay lobola, besides going to book venues, buying wedding dresses, suits, etc., and all those nice things related to the celebration itself, what is it that they need, critically need, and how would you be of assistance? How would your platform be of assistance to such couples? Or what would be your advice for them to ensure that they are prepared and they are ready and they don't form part of that very scary divorce rate that you have just outlined to us?
You see, personal development is very important. Although I will tell you about my preference, I prefer to interact with people that are saying, here I am, I'm single, I am looking or I am hoping to find someone. Those are the people that very often you can reach into their souls, because you need to, for example, I teach a lot about things that you must know before you say I do. But the moment you go and commit to someone and then you come to me, you start listening to something you must know before you say I do, and the next thing you go and say red card mama banner, then you're creating yourself some problems. But it's very important that people take time to develop themselves. Like I said, we do organize, as a matter of fact, we are planning a singles tour starting from the 14th to the 17th of June 2024, wherein we are taking young people of mature age, single individuals, to the Kruger, where we're going to have obstacle courses, lots of games, lot of sightseeing and all sorts of things. We'll be in the middle of the Kruger with game viewing and all sorts of things. But the whole idea is to sit down with single people and address real issues. In the middle of all the fun, we need to get to a point where we address real people. People should tell you, or should be open enough to say why they are not where they hope to be. Because it's one thing, you see, one thing I've learned about life, there are opportunities in life. Some will come back and say, you know what, I blew it. I once had this lady who was the best thing that ever happened for me. I cheated. Some will say, you know what, I've been chasing my career. I never took time to pause. Now I'm at this particular age where I find things rather kind of difficult. But you get to that particular point wherein you have females on one side, males on one side, talking about their issues, playing games together, talking openly about their frustrations. I mean, it's very funny. I was speaking at the one church in Polokwane. You know, some of these things are laughable. The pastor was saying, you know what, can you come and talk to my people? What's the matter? He says, no, I've got a bunch of young professionals, very successful single ladies and very successful young men. But the sisters are saying the brothers are not saying anything. The brothers are saying, "Ay, barahana." How can we get this right? So you need to create platforms, because sometimes when people are in their domain, I mean, you go to Centen, for example, us in Joburg, you go to Centen, you see this particular person working for this company and whatsoever. When they are there, they are big. So once you get people in a relaxed environment where they leave their titles in the car and put on obstacle course related attire. Then they start opening up and dealing with issues. And we're going to touch on why. This is one thing that I'm going to talk about. Why most people find themselves still single despite the fact that they desire to be married. That
Wow.
I'm ready. I have prepared so much for that. I will talk at length about it during the talk.
Yo, that last part blew me off. Why most single people stay single for long, even though they don't want or desire to stay single. So if you are that single person, I'm sure you are ready to make your bookings. I think we'll share more information about the bookings this week on our social media platforms. But I think that's quite a progressive and a fun event. I mean, at the Kruger, it's really, really, really gonna be nice. I think if I'm single and I want more information before I commit,
Please don't declare yourself single. I know you are married, and even you who are watching, please, the thing about South Africa, you have a lot of MBAs. Say they are married but available. Please,
married but available.
this is for single people only.
Okay.
Single people only. Don't sneak and leave your wife behind. You see, so, my life sometimes becomes very complicated when you start having interaction with people. Are you single? Dude, what is that?
After running some obstacle courses.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I'm with this guy. I love him, but I am not sure. Is he aware that you're not sure? Guys, please, I'm repeating this. If you are single and dating, it's one thing, be upfront. Don't say you are single, whereas somebody has already paid a lobolo or a particular portion of it. And now, because in these sessions, we are going to have single people, and single people are going to interact and all sorts of things. When you start interacting and they see you on our social media and they wonder, this one is not that single. And you have married people, sometimes they take off their rings and say, you know what, I'm single. I'm single at heart. So please, single people only. Thank you so much.
I hope you got the warning. Those of you who were thinking of sneaking into this event is for singles only. And by the way, I think if you really are single, this would be a very important event for you. I will give a personal testimony whereby I met Mr. B, still single. I've been following his teachings, attending his seminars, and today I'm married, happily married. So it's very important for you to come and learn and get exposed to his teachings. So lastly, Mr. Mgwena, what can we expect from you this year? Before we...
Look, like I said, this year we're going to have a lot of physical sessions than online. We are going to have more sessions. We are going to have family sessions wherein it will be a weekend for families, husband, wife, children. We're going to have sessions for that. We are already making arrangements for that. We are also planning on the weekend of the 24th of September. We'll be doing our 3-country tour. What basically happens is you wake up in the Kruger, have breakfast, then drive over to Swaziland or Eswatini, Kingdom of Eswatini, have lunch there, cross over from Swaziland into Mozambique, have dinner in Maputo, spend the night at Southern Sun in Maputo. Then following day off to Ponto de Ore, spend a entire day at Ponto de Ore, and then following day visit places like Yomakaneta and all those places in that. We have that every year, and it's one of those that you can't afford to miss. So it's why are we doing this? The moment you have more people who are like-minded, spending time together, talking about their issues, you'll realize, damn, you have been complaining about this woman that she does this and that and that. You are living with an angel, whereas when now you are the one who's a problem. So, but it's not about pinpointing but when you have people who are like-minded, who are willing to work very hard to build their marriages, that is what we promote. Thanks very much.
No, thanks. So I'm more interested in these 3 countries tour. Who's invited there? Is it the MBAs or the married or the singles? Who's actually invited there?
Look, throughout the years for the 3 country tours, we always say if you come, there are people who prefer to come alone. You are single, you come alone by yourself. There are people who come as couples. We don't have any restriction. So you must just understand, if you come as a single, we are going to book you into your own room as a single person. We're not going to hook you up. That's not what we do.
Okay.
We want people, there are people, for example, they are girlfriends. They come as girlfriends, they share a room, they share whatsoever.
Oh.
But mingle, you are in that particular space. And I find that to be very critical because in those sessions, we end up, you meet with, if you're single, you meet with married couples. Some of the married couples do take time to mentor, to speak life into young single people.
Wow.
And that way you are able to develop some sense of understanding as to actually this is what happens in marriage. Because marriage is not what you see on your magazines and everything. After all this halabaloo, it's you and your partner. So those interactions with married couples, and some even adopt. I always encourage married couples that come on our tours that please do me a favor, adopt a young person. Adopt a young person. Speak to that particular person's life. Pray for them. Invite them. I even say pay for them. When we do something, pay for them so that you give them this exposure. Tomorrow, they will remember you because it's a seed that you are planting. You will reap your rewards at the end of the day. Thanks very much.
No, that's very powerful. I'm so looking forward to the June singles event. Also looking forward to the 3 countries tour. Please do come. Otherwise, we've come to the end of our discussion today with Mr. Basil B. Mugwena. If you need any of his books, please do contact us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's Love Really Blind and Marriage and Eye Opener. And of course, you can also contact us. There's a contact number there. We will deliver it. We do deliver nationwide. Please do follow us. If you are not following us on our Facebook, please do subscribe to our page. On TikTok, please follow Basil Mugwena 1. On Facebook, Basil Mugwena. And on Facebook, on YouTube, Basil Mugwena. And on Facebook, it's Love Really Blind and Marriage and Eye Opener. Thank you so much, Mr. Mugwena, for your time. We'll be having another session of this nature in the first week of April. We'll be having another session. If you'd like us to touch on any specific topic, please do communicate with us on a particular topic that you want Mr. Mugwena to interact on. There's many topics, there's many issues that couples and singles go through. Financial issues, parental issues, there's many other aspects that form part of a marriage. Maybe that you'd like Mr. Mugwena to go through, please do that. The invitation is open to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We really appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mugwena.
Sure.